Duelist of the Autumn Crown, Chapter 12. A Bond Reforged. A small bell jingled as Rainbow pushed open the door to QQ Cafe. Skulu and then Fluttershy followed her, leading Twilight to stop inside the door. Two rows of booths stretched down the length of the store. The right aisle, bearing a countertop, with little suites in front of it. The various booths were students Twilight recognized from the school. Appropriately, most tables had Duel Monsters cards jeweled across them, as duelists looked over their decks and spare cards. Few were playing the game with pads of paper and calculators. "This place seems kind of peaceful for all the duelists here," Twilight whispered to Fluttershy. She saw a couple of duelists looking up at her in Rainbow Dash, whispering to each other. Fluttershy nodded.
"You can thank Pinkie Pie for that. She told us, doing is serious business, but I take fun more seriously, so if you can't do it while having fun, get out."
Twilight snorted as she started to hold back a laugh. That sounds like Pinkie, all right. Rainbow had sat down at a booth as the two girls approached her. Skulu ran up to the table as they took their seats. "Rainbow, got any quarters?" She pointed at one end of the cafe, where a few arcade machines had been set up.
"Hang on."
Rainbow reached for her backpack and unzipped the pocket. After a moment, she held out her hand. A few coins fell into Skulu's palm. Skulu grinned and ran down to the aisle to the games. Fluttershy took her seat opposite Rainbow, and Twilight sat next to her. Spike jumped up into Twilight's lap as she looked around.
"So, Pinkie works here?" "I sure do!"
Twilight cried out at the voice that came from next to her ear and pulled back, almost falling into Fluttershy's lap. She stared up at Pinkie, now wearing a waitress uniform, grinning down at her. Twilight shook her head and sat up. "Hi, Pinkie."
"3 shakes. Make mine chocolate and a plate of fries," Rainbow said. "Girls want anything?" "A blueberry yogurt and a vanilla for me, please."
Twilight thought for a moment. The few meals she's had in this world had been at Fluttershy's house, where thankfully the Shys had offered a vegetarian offer to her due to Fluttershy's own dietary preferences. She suppressed a shudder at the memory of Sapphire Breeze biting into a meat patty between two buns, and Twilight naively asking what he was still eating. "Still don't know enough about this world to ask for something appropriate."
"I'm okay. Vanilla's good for me, too."
"You got it!" Pinkie waved and zipped away. Twilight noticing she was on rollerblades as he went.
"So,"
Rainbow leaned back and put her head behind her head.
"you want to take out Sunset Shimmer?"
"Yes," Twilight nodded firmly. "I have to."
"Really? A lot of students have given it their best shots. She's never been beaten. Ever!"
Rainbow shook her head.
"Doesn't matter what you throw at her. No one can touch her."
"That's impossible," Twilight frowned. "She has to have at least one. A perfect win record over 2.5 years is a statistical possibility."
"She's beaten the odds. She's beaten everyone."
Fluttershy bit her lip and sank in her seat.
"I've seen her duel. The way she plays is just indescribable. It's like anytime you think she's gonna lose, she pulls out the most amazing comebacks and wins for nothing." "It's like she's pulling cards out of her butt or something," Rainbow added.
"Sounds like someone I know," Spike whispered. Twilight faked a sneeze, in the process reaching down and squeezing Spike's tail. He yelped and glared at her.
"Excuse me," Twilight smiled. "So, what kind of deck does he play?"
Rainbow began to answer, but stopped. She looked over Twilight's head and scowled.
"Here comes trouble."
Twilight and Fluttershy turned in their seats. Rarity held the door open as Sweetbell and Apple Bloom came inside. Applejack followed them. While the younger girl saw Skulu and ran up to her, Applejack took 2 steps, saw Rainbow, and froze.
"Well, looky here,"
she muttered. Twilight saw Rarity noticed her table, and a panic expression came over her face. She glanced back at Applejack. Twilight also saw more students noticing the scene and beginning to talk amongst themselves.
"Uh-oh,"
Fluttershy whispered, and pulled down her seat to hide behind the backing. Applejack turned her eyes away from Rainbow. "Apple Bloom, you can talk to him later. We'll eat somewhere else."
"No, let me."
Rainbow stood up.
"We want to pose. Skulu, finish that game up." "Oh, for crying out loud!"
The cafe went silent. All eyes pointed to Rainbow, Applejack, or the girl standing by Rainbow's table. Twilight glared at the two, slowing her head to look between the two of them.
"You two used to be friends. I'd like to think that even at your worst, you could stand to be around each other enough to sit in the same restaurant without making a scene."
She looked across the cafe to the 3 girls staring at her, pointing at them. Your sisters, or surrogate sister as it happens, are far more mature and responsible than this about any of you. This is why they play together in secret, because they know what you guys get like when you're around each other now. You already tore your own friendship apart. You don't have to tear apart theirs too. Why should you need to? Twilight held her arm up and reached to her wrist, undid the straps, and tossed her duel disc on the table, the metal and plastic clanging. The tournament is over for the day. We don't even have to find out our matchups until tomorrow. For any of us know, you won't even duel each other. In fact, the odds are you won't. So just for one night, can we at least try to be civil to each other, if only for their sake? Twilight finished, and realized by this point everyone was staring at her. C+ sat down on the stools of the counter. So, does anyone have anything to say? Skula slowly raised her hand. Yes. I only have one coin left, and it's 50 cents for 2-player. Really not the best time, I know. Here. Flashlight pulled a small coin purse from her pocket, popped it open, placing 4 quarters on the table. With Apple and Sleepbell watching over her, Skulu slowly came to the table, took to the coins, and stumbled back to the others. Oh, they got fighters on here. I'm ready to face the greatest fighters! Take me to the Soviet Union! I promise that's my only Gravity Falls reference for this week. A whistle sounded from it behind Twilight, as he turned to see Pinky lowering a whistle in her mouth. So's everybody! Go back to your business! Slowly the Patriots listened to Pinky's command and turned their attention to their own matters. Standing in the doorway, Applejack looked at Rarity. Are you selling any empty slates? Rarity began to look around. Twilight looked down at the table. Fluttershy, can you stand next to Rainbow Dash, please?
Okay.
Fluttershy slid out of the booth, stepped around the table next to Rainbow. Sit down, please.
Oh.
Fluttershy waited while Rainbow shuffled over into the booth to make room for her and then sat down. Twilight waved with one hand, pointing toward the other. 2 seats just opened up. Applejack's expression softened, and she let out a breath. For Apple Blue. She slowly walked over to the table, and hesitated before sitting down sliding into the seat. Twilight looked down at Rarity, and jerked her head to the table.
Oh, very well.
Rarity sighed and sat down beside her. There! Twilight clasped her hands together and smiled. Isn't this nice? Just 5 friends sitting around a table, sharing a meal, not insulting each other or getting on each other's nerves. She maintained her funny smile, even as she put in an edge on the final part. Fireside continued to try and shrink down in her seat, while the other 3 avoided looking at each other, muttering under their breath. Pinky leaned into Twilight from behind the counter. I'm picking up on a lot of tension right now, she whispered loudly. Thanks for the tip. I hadn't noticed. Twilight hissed back.
Really? Wow, you're kind of tense.
Pinky hummed to herself as she skated to the back. Twilight turned her attention fully to the table. She took a breath and stood up, walking to them. Look, I get it. This tournament is important to you guys, and it is to me too. But I really think about what it's costing you, what it's already cost you to take it this far. Think to the future. You guys are going to graduate, get jobs, or go to college, or maybe move away. Do you really want to think about all the good times you had with each other, or how much you hate each other because of a game? No one really said anything. Then, finally, Applejack turned her head. Hi, Ardley? Rainbow looked at her. You played me right and good today, and that's the truth of it. I fought my best and you canned me. She held up a fist. Good game, Sugar Cube. Rainbow stared at the extended fist for a moment, before raising her arm and pressing against it. Yeah, well, it was a lucky win. I would have lasted one more turn if I hadn't drawn Power Jersey. And those play combos are tough. I just kept busting one boss monster after the next. Excuse me, Rarity sniffed. Isn't anyone going to compliment my tuning tactics? Applejack and Rainbow shared a look before Applejack smiled. You keep your cards in great condition. Thank you, I do consider it very... She stopped and registered the comment. Applejack and Rainbow laughed. Fireside offered a smile. Rarity huffed across their arms. Very much, yeah. You know, I don't even remember who won last time we dueled before this tournament, Applejack said. Me neither, Rainbow shook her head. Even if we did face each other in the finals at this point, one of us won the crown. Would it even matter? Nope. They'll be the same thing all over again the next round. Abstract Director from Twilight. Guess we just need Twilight here to point out how dumb this all is while you take a step back. Speaking of, hey! Rainbow scrunched over and the kids in the seat and pulled Fluttershy with her. Twilight, cram in! You're clawing over us like Miss Harshwinny! Twilight smiled as she sat down. She took her jewel disc back and slid it on, tightening the straps. I admit, I felt kind of silly giving that big speech to standing over you. I never really thought of myself as someone important like that. Well, maybe as a teacher. Nonsense! Rarity reached across the table and patted the back of Twilight's hand. I think you're proving yourself a marvelous role model. You're taking part in this tournament, and you want to win. But you're not letting bitterness or competitiveness get the better of you. Twilight brightened. Really? Fluttershy nodded.
Rarity's right. You're proof we can have fun playing the game, even while we take it seriously sometimes. Here you go!
Piggy rolled up to the table and put a pie in her hand.
2 chocolate shakes, 1 vanilla, and 1 strawberry yummy, newcomers.
Faster than Twilight could see her move, Piggy's hand whipped out and slid the drinks across the table. The extra chocolate and strawberry topping an applejack and Rarity.
Also, rice and gnocchi.
Twilight didn't even see where Piggy had got them from before the basket and small plastic container were in the middle of the table. Rainbow reached down and grabbed a fry.
So, like I was saying, Twilight wants to take Sunset Shimmer down a peg. Frankly, no matter what anyone thinks of this tournament, it's time for her to go. She's been a champion way too long. She thinks she runs the school.
Yeah, but we want to get rid of her. We gotta beat her. Applejack held up her hands. Frankly, seeing as it hasn't happened yet, I don't know if it ever will. Rarity finished taking a drink from her milkshake.
But this year will be different. This year, Twilight is here.
Guys, I'm torn. Should I play Yu-Gi-Oh! Will Be There for this moment, or play Equestria Girls, this theme?
Hey, everybody.
You got a point there. Applejack nodded. Ooh, I could also play We Got This. Twilight's as good as a duelist as I've ever seen.
Like you said, she's a role model.
Fluttershy chimed in. Twilight buzzed again. Well, I do want to beat Sunset, but I don't know if I'm good enough. If I'm being honest, this game really wasn't my thing until I came to Canterlot.
So you're a natural. So what?
Rainbow reached over on Fluttershy to pound Twilight on the shoulder.
You got what it takes to make it to the top.
Guys, the moment Rainbow said that, I started hearing You're the Best playing in my head.
I think it's more than that, though.
Twilight counted off her fingers. There's 4 of us, plus Flash Sentry.
Flash?
Rainbow asked.
We're friends, and I think he'd be on board with reforming the school by getting rid of Sunset.
Twilight reached into her backpack and pulled out a notepad and pen. She drew a blank bracket lineup with the tournament and wrote 8 names above them.
Counting him, there's 5 of us versus Sunset. The odds are one of us will be up against her in the quarterfinals tomorrow.
Even if we aren't, it's a sure thing that if we make it through the semifinals, she'll be there. The higher we go in rankings, the more likely it is one of us will have to duel her to proceed further. Twilight scribbled in Sunset's name as the continues progressing through her drawn bracket. However, statistically speaking, there's just as much of individual chance for each of us to duel each other as Sunset. What are y'all saying? Applejack saying. I'm saying it might not be necessary to be Sunset who versus one of us in the finals. For all we know, she and I could be messed up in the quarterfinals and I'll be here then. The finals could end up being Rainbow versus Flash.
That would be the most awesome duel ever.
Rainbow squeaked, pushing her hands to her cheeks. Twilight, you don't know how tournament arcs work, do you? Sunset is the main villain. You have to duel her at the end. It's your destiny. It has to be done. I know some people would go, oh, do they have to? But they have to. Otherwise, the story doesn't flow. It does not work that way. It doesn't become interesting. It doesn't become exciting. Do you think it would be interesting if, say, in the Tenchi Budokai, Tien Shinhan faced off against Goku in the second round? And Goku faced off against Manwolf in the final round? No! The story wouldn't be interesting that way. It'll just be like, really? That's it? And the conclusion would be boring! You're destined to fight her, okay? It's not even like they say, it's called story convenience. Twilight ignored her. If we really want to change the way the school sees dueling, we have to be unified in our message, as friends and as duelists. No matter who wins this tournament, we have to make sure things change. If you happen to win, we don't need another sunset. The others all nodded in agreement. By that same token, it doesn't matter which one of us beats Sunset. So we get matched against each other, we pull no punches. We duel our best, and whoever wins, wins, right? It's not personal anymore. She eyed Rainbow and Applejack. They caught her eye and nodded firmly.
Twilight?
She turned to Fireside.
It sounds like a nice plan, but you're leaving out the most important part. How do any of us beat Sunset? She's the best duelist this school's ever seen.
The others grumbled and sat back. That's the next part of the plan. Strategy. Twilight flipped to a fresh page and poised her pen at the top. So, what do we know about Sunset Shimmer's deck? It's unstoppable! It's called perfect synergy. There's no other deck in the school like it. Twilight rolled her eyes. Well, way to compliment the girl who's supposed to be our enemy. I'm not looking for gushing about how awesome she is. I want hard facts. What archetype does he play? The other four looked among themselves and began murmuring. Twilight frowned. Really? No one?
Well, we haven't seen her duel in a long time.
Fireside said. Fine. Then what kind of strategy does he rely on? Again, there was no direct response. Twilight huffed. Come on. Someone must remember something. Does he focus on fusing cards? Does he swarm the field? Does he lock down her opponent's cards? Does he mill? Sorry, Twilight. Applejack shook her head. It's just not coming to me. Twilight grunted. Great. Champion duelist of the school and no one knows what kind of deck she even uses. Don't you guys have a database for this sort of information? She gasped as she finished the sentence. Pinky! Yep! Twilight didn't even question how Pinky was suddenly sitting next to the table. You maintain the school duelist database. What kind of deck does Sunset Shimmer use?
No.
What? Twilight's jaw dropped.
No.
Pinky shrugged.
Always wondered myself, but never really had time to ask or see her play.
Twilight slapped her hand to her face. So, we're going in to duel the best duelist in the school, completely blind as to what she can do.
Don't worry, Twilight.
Fireside smiled warmly.
I'm sure you'll do fine.
I hope so, Twilight said the notebook and sighed. My harmony spirits have taken me this far, but I just can't jump into a duel with Sunset and wing it like I've been doing.
Harmony what?
Rarity tilted her head. Twilight looked at her quizzically. Harmony Spirit, my deck?
Oh, I've not heard of that series. Is that a new release?
Twilight blinked as she processed Rarity's question. Rarity, we dueled before. I used them to beat you.
You did?
Rarity clenched her eyes and shook her head.
Oh, yes. I remember. Pietas and Magia and all that. Sorry, it slipped my mind.
Oh, shoot, those cards use a perception filter. Really? Twilight thought down as she looked down at Spike, his face reflecting her confusion. His eyes narrowed as she raised her eyes. Fireside? How did our first duel end?
Oh.
Fireside thought.
You won.
Yes, but how?
Fireside
furrowed her brow.
I summoned Behemoth, and you destroyed it. How?
Fireside gave a helpless shrug.
I don't recall, Twilight. Sorry.
Like I said, perception filter. Anybody got a pocket watch?
Okay, one more Doctor Who reference like that, and you are so reading a certain Doctor Who's fanfic.
Do you mean it? What about my duel with Snips and Snails? What monster did I use to beat them? Calm down, Twa. Applejack rolled her eyes. Not everyone remembers every play of every duel they fought. You saw me duel just today, Applejack. What cards did I use? Harmony Spirits. Devil Occurs. Are you saying because you remember it, or because I said it just now? What's gotten into you? Rainbow asked, laying on the table. What's it matter if we remember your deck or not? You're still kicking butt with it? Twice stood up. I need to use the bathroom. Spike! She briskly walked down the aisle and turned down the corner, Spike at her heels. Well, that's weird. Applejack wrinkled her face. Well, if Twilight is excusing herself, I shall as well, Rarity said from the booth. I want to make some adjustments to my deck for tomorrow. She looked at the girls playing the arcade machines. Oh, but I can't test you about over here like this. I can give her a ride, Fireside offered. Thank you, darling. Rarity waved as she left. The doorbell's jingling as it opened and shut. Twilight opened the door to the bathroom when Spike was inside. She looked around the room to make sure it was empty, then looked down at him. Tell me what you realize what just happened. Yeah, seems like they all got bad memories, he replied. It's more than that. They don't even remember things that happened to them earlier the same day. Twilight frowned and began to pace, arms folded over her chest. What's going on? Beats me, Spike scratched his ear. You haven't been exactly without memory problems yourself, you know. My memory? Twilight stopped. Her eyes darted around the room as she thought. Spike, you said when my eyes glow purple when I get serious while dueling, right? Yeah. Snooz's Snails had glowing red eyes when I dueled them. Then when I beat them, they had no memory of what happened. Twilight snapped open the compartment on her duel disk and pulled out her 5 fusing cards. When I dueled them, these cards appeared in my deck, along with other new cards. And before that, I dueled Rarity and drew Harmony Castle. That one I might have missed when looking over my deck. But I know I didn't have fusing cards before the tag duel. I don't sort of follow here, Twilight. Does he see Spike? Twilight stood down at him. Every time I duel, they don't remember anything about it other than how good I was. And then, whenever I'm about to lose, I enter into some sort of trance and just create new cards to help me win. Spike snorted. When you put it like that, it sounds a little unfair. Though not too far off from typical Yu-Gi-Oh wins. It's very unfair. No one knows what kind of deck I use, so they have no way to anticipate what I'll do. And even if they do start to beat me, I may just go into a magical trance and draw some new card they couldn't possibly expect me to let me win. Twilight looked at her deck of dual disc. Imagine what it could mean if I could learn to freely control that magic. Control it freely? Spike rubbed his chin with a paw. Being able to pull new cards, flip the game anytime you want, and no one can remember what kind of deck you use anyway? If you could master that kind of magic, you'd be unbeatable. Like Sunset Shimmer? Spike's eyes widened and he looked up at Twilight. Mouth fell open. You don't think... Twilight slowly nodded. I do, Spike. She folded up the cards in her hand. I think we figured out just how Sunset's been able to stay champion so long. Rarity hummed to herself as she approached the car in Sugar Cube Cafe parking lot. She locked the door and reached for the handle. Rarity. She jumped and turned to see a figure step into the light above them. Rarity scowled. What do you want? Sunset smiled. I just want to talk for a bit. And I need an adult. I am an adult.